So we are now again, minasan konnichiwa, on the module of part 3, number 9. So the subtopic is about dead-end corridors. This is your professor, Dr. DrEYPEI Zantua. I am a civil engineer, electrical engineer, industrial engineer, mechanical engineer, production engineer in Japan, and an alumni of Polytechnic University, Japan. So let us start with the objective of the code. NFPA101, the Life Safety Code addresses specific requirements to minimize danger to life from fire, smoke, heat, and toxic gases. So smoke, heat, and toxic gases are those coming out as a byproduct of fire. Okay. In doing so, it also provides mission continuity and property protection in both new construction and existing buildings. So again, we are on part 3, means of egress, and currently we are on module number 9, as I've said. We are on subtopic number 3, dead-end corridors. So what do we mean by this? So subsection 7.1.3.1, exit access corridors. These are corridors used as exit access and serving an area having an occupant load exceeding 30. Occupant load meaning persons. How many persons? 30. Okay, more than 30. So if there are more than 30 occupant load, so it means we have a corridors that must be used as exit access. Okay, and because of that, we know, therefore, we know that our school, TCU, has more than 30 occupant loads, actually per room, room. So there are about 20 rooms per floor, or 20 rooms per floor. So 20 times during the normal days, just before the COVID pandemic, 45 times 20. So that is what? 900 per floors. So 900 per floors. And there are 4 floors. So that is about 3,600 per shift. So there are what? 3 shift, AM, PM, and evening. Okay. So 3,600. So the capacity is about 7,000. Okay. Okay. 7,000 to 8,000, like something like that. So therefore, because of that, the occupant load exceeding 30, okay, corridors must be used as exit access that should serve those occupants and shall be separated from other parts of the building by walls having not less than a 1-hour fire resistance rating in accordance with section 8.3 unless otherwise permitted by one of the following. What do we mean by that? 1-hour fire resistance. We have to design a passageway called corridors that will have a 1-hour fire resistance, meaning if there is an incident of fire, the occupants of the building will go to the corridors, use the corridors as the passageway going out of the building. That is the means of egress, okay? Going out of the building. And because they are using this passageway must be safe from fire. What will happen if the passageway is the one burning? So therefore, the passageway must be safe from fire. And that requirement get them to specify 1 hour minimum, 1 hour fire resistance. What do we mean by 1 hour fire resistance? The passageway will not burn down within 1 hour after the start of fire. After the start of fire, you can start your clock 1 hour, it will not burn down because you have 1 hour to leave the building. Okay? Actually, don't wait for 1 hour to leave the building because that is only for the egress. That fire resistance rating is for egress. How about the whole building? The whole building is not 1 hour. Okay? The whole building is not 1 hour. So it may be less than 1 hour. So the building will collapse. Okay? In less than 1 hour. So you have to still make it a point to leave the building immediately. However, there is a code requirement that the materials, okay, that should what? That should separate the corridors from the rooms, okay? From the rooms must be 1 hour fire resistance rating. Okay, take note of that. That you should include in your building design. Okay, unless otherwise permitted by any one of the following. There are exemptions. So number one exemption, this requirement shall not apply to existing building. Okay, so therefore it is only for new buildings. New meaning after 2018. Okay, because this code is enforced starting 2018. So new is 2018, after 2018. Old or existing buildings, those are buildings before 2018, provided that the occupancy classification does not change. Okay. Okay. And number two, again, this is an exemption where otherwise provided in chapters 11 to 43. What are those chapters 11 to 43? We already know from this series of modules that chapters 11 to 43 are the occupancy chapters. Okay, it depends upon the application. Okay. Next concept is paragraph 7.1.3.1 requires protection via fire-rated corridor walls. So the walls of the corridor must also be fire-rated. Serving more than 30 occupants. Note that the requirement for the corridor walls to be fire resistance rated, which is not a requirement for the floor or ceiling or roof ceiling assembly forming the top and bottom of the corridor compartment. So only for the walls, no? Provide separation only between the corridor and other spaces on the same floor. Provide the 1 hour separation between the corridor and the remainder of the floor, as required by this paragraph. The fire barriers forming the corridor walls must extend above any ceiling membranes so as to be sealed tightly against the floor or roof above. So the fire resistance capability is from floor to ceiling. Okay, so there is a protection. Okay, so that everybody using that corridor is or are safe to go out of the building using that means of egress. Okay, so it is not called a safe means of egress corridor if those conditions are not met. Okay. So let us continue. This picture is an example of the protection of exit access corridors required by that previous paragraph. Note the difference in the required protection for the corridor wall segments serving also as enclosure protection from the hazardous contents area. Okay, and as part of enclosure of an exit. So let us verify that in the picture. So we have what? Hazardous contents area here. So we have what? This wall is fire rated. The red walls here are fire rated. So this one, okay, so this one is a fire rated wall. Okay, this one is also a fire rated wall up to that point. And this according to this is 1 hour wall with 3/4 hour door. So meaning the fire rating of door is 45 minutes. That is 3/4 hour. And the fire rating of the wall here, the red walls are what? 1 hour. 1 hour walls. Okay. Meaning the materials used in those walls and doors. Okay. So 1 hour wall here and also on the wall thrown above there. No? 1 hour wall with 20-minute doors. So these are 20-minute doors. But on the hazardous content, we have what? 45 minutes door because this room has hazardous contents. Also, we have fire protection, firewall, fire barrier here. No? Okay, we have a protective barrier wall here, which is fire rated. This is not firewall. This is not firewall. This is fire barrier wall or corridor wall segment that protects the what? This protects the exit access. Okay, going downstairs, connecting basement through third floor. Stair connecting first to third floor. So this one. Okay. So we have to protect this exit access. Those are the pathways going out of the building. Okay. So we have to protect this corridor. This is now the corridor. This is the corridor going out and going out here. So there are two out. Just like in our school, TCU, there are two exit stairs on the either side of the building. Okay, and also we have the stairs at the center, the middle part of the building. So there are several exit access. Okay, so you can see here 2 hour wall with 1.5 hour door. So you will notice that the requirement is really 1 hour, 2 hours. 2 hours is better than 1 hour. So 2 hours protection is given for the stairs, which is what? Exit access. Okay? Rather than the corridors. Okay? So meaning we want to make sure better safety on this part compared to this part and also compared to the other part. Okay? So they are the last one to be burned down. Okay? So continue. Exit access shall be arranged so that there are no dead ends in corridors unless permitted by and limited to the length specified in chapters 11 through 43. So chapters 11 to 43, those are the occupancy chapters. Okay? So there are specific requirements there. So this means of egress that we are talking about are general principle and requirements. For example, we have building type, residential, mercantile, business, assembly. There are different purpose. So non-sprinklered, sprinklered. What do we mean by sprinklered and non-sprinklered? Sprinkler are those device and equipment that deals with putting off the fire. Okay, it put off and put out the fire. Okay, because there are spray or shower of water after the system is triggered. Okay, it could be triggered manually by an operator or it could be triggered automatically by smoke detector or fire detector. So if there are working, if there are working smoke detector, automatically it will be triggered and sprinklered. No, so just like what we experienced in Japan when we are there, one of the students use the fire extinguisher, and because the building has a fire or smoke detector, the smoke detector thought that the fire extinguisher is smoke, and that's why it triggers the sprinkler. And what will happen? All of the units at the middle of the night were showered with waters. Okay, so all of the clothes, books are wet because of somebody, and that somebody is a Filipino, by the way, who just happened to have a bad manner, bad attitude that night. Okay, so it is not a good example, but anyway, that is an experience. No, so automatically it is sprinklered water. So that is what we mean by sprinkler. So in the Philippines, I still have to experience something like that, even in rooms or buildings with installed smoke detector. Sometimes they are not working. They are not working properly. In times of fire, they will not work. So what will happen? Okay, so it is a risk. Okay, so dead end exists in corridors where corridor continues past an exit and creates a pocket into which an occupant might travel. Okay, pocket is a space. It's an space that an occupant may hide into. Okay, an occupant then recognizes there is no exit at that end of the pocket and is forced into retracing the original path to reach the exit. So he will come back because he went to the dead end. Okay, realizing that he will come back. Although relatively short dead end corridors are permitted for all occupancies by the chapter applicable to that occupancy, it is better practice to avoid those things. Dead end corridors increase the danger of people becoming trapped during a fire, and that is logical. Why create dead end corridors? Notice that compliance with the limits on dead-end corridors does not necessarily mean that the requirements for remoteness of exit are met. Requirements for remoteness are especially difficult to meet in small buildings or buildings with short public corridors. Okay? So you will notice 6, 6, and only this one is 15. So, okay, so 15 meaning business, no? Non-sprinklered, 6. Sprinklered, 15. Okay? So, there are so much number of hours if you have a sprinkler, no? But when in terms of residential, no need, only the same, no? Mercantile, the same. Only in business, it will extend the number of hours. Safe hours if you are a sprinkler. Okay? And next concept, this picture illustrates example of two common types of dead-end corridors. Where are those? This is one dead-end corridor here. Although we have an exit here, there is a pocket here. There is a pocket because someone running from this point or running out, going out, may turn right here. But that is not good because the exit is still going straight, and this is the exit. But there is a pocket. Somebody may wrongly turn right here and be trapped. Okay, these are elevators. These are elevators that in case of fire, you don't have to go to elevator in case of fire because the power supply may stop. So if you are inside the elevator, the power supply stop, what will happen to you? Okay, you are inside the elevator and you will die with suffocation because of the smoke. Okay, so that's why don't go to the elevator. Go down using stairs. Okay, using stairs. But somebody running here might go this way, thinking there's an exit, and that is another dead end. So there are two dead ends in this picture. Okay, one here is the actual dead end, and the other one is a pocket dead end. Okay. So similarly, any occupant of the floor might mistakenly travel into the dead end created by the elevator lobby, which is connected to the corridor so as not to discern by the occupant as being anything other than a corridor. Okay? Neither of the dead end corridor pockets leads to an exit. So there is no exit there. There is no exit there. So you may need what? An exit stairs here. But you already have an exit stairs here. You may need the exit ladder, right? Rather than stairs, huh? Ladder. Okay. Again, thank you very much for listening on our lecture videos. This is Dr. DrEYPEI saying, preaching engineering is for nation building.